That is fine. And I think I got everybody who wanted to play except for Don Lu, but he is...
Okay.
Oh, no, Porkchop can't play. So, where is... Oh, that's the person I forgot. Aha! I think I got everybody who wanted to play.
Oh, I have
for
to
Don
mute
Lu,
the
but
stream.
he
Yeah,
is...
we're live, by the way, now.
Oh, no, Porkchop
Okay.
can't play.
Hi, Internet.
Hey!
Nobody's here yet. They'll get here. Once the word gets out.
Alright, we got Miane. We're good to go.
Main hay?
Yep, main hay is here.
Get that Nightbot into channels.
Alright, let me tweet again. Already got some retweets for the pre-tweet.
Retweet for the pre-tweet.
Dodgeball mode, the Dawn Gate in-houses with me and Twerp78 commentating starting now at this thing. Yeah.
We'll ask if they want to do draft or blind, and then we'll figure it out.
I am down with that.
No Sakari blind pick? I can get down with that.
We're allowing Sakari, man. We're allowing it for the tournament, so we're going to allow it for this. Sorry, bros.
Oh, snap.
That is the word from on high. Sakari is allowed. And that ain't changing. Ever. So that might influence their decision to do blind or draft. But Sakari is allowed.
We will allow the Ice Queen Princess.
You know, for the record, for previous
Frost
Sick Note
Broad.
Invitationals, yeah. For previous Sick Note Invitationals, people requested that we ban certain shapers. They requested that we ban Vex when there was that duelist bug, and they requested that we ban Basco. And in both of those tournaments, those shapers were not a factor. So I hear a lot of complaining about Sakari, and it sounds very familiar, and we're going to leave it alone, and we'll see who ends up being right.
Well, I mean, if she's going to be available in the next tournament, then I don't see too much of an issue with it. I mean, if they really don't want to play against Sakari that much, they can decide to play draft mode.
Yeah, and we're trying to work with Waystone. You know, it's not on us to determine if a shaper is so powerful that they have to be banned.
Well, it's the bug. That's what really rustles people.
Yeah, but I mean, ultimately, at the end of the day, whether it's a bug or not, what's important is the power level, right? Whether or not the shaper is too powerful. And if Waystone wants to wait and see, if they're trying to gather data, which I think they are, right? That's what they said, is they want to see Sakari in high-level play, and then they'll see whether they need to make adjustments, you know? Well, this is the high-level play they're looking for, so we want to give them that data. Alright, so did we get an answer on blind or draft?
I mean, of the people who answered, it seems like more blind votes than draft, so we're going to go with blind.
Blind, much like the upcoming shaper, perhaps. Ah.
I don't know about that.
Is
I just saw a hat in front of his face.
But did you listen to the living, well, not living lore, but the
read
lore?
The thing? Or no, I didn't. I when I looked at the reveal, I couldn't listen to it. I forgot that there was an audio track on it that I meant. So good on you for reminding me.
Gotcha. Yeah, it's the implication is that he may be blind, although it's tricky wording. It's not entirely clear. I mean, these guys can do a gentleman's agreement.
I mean, yeah, if they want to. Yeah, we're not enforcing that though.
Yeah. So it looks like blind pick and Sakari is allowed, but you can pick her or not pick her as you see fit. So, since you, my friend, are behind on the scoreboards, I will extend you the courtesy of first pick.
Oh, well, thank you, sir. You know, I'm not in these to win them. I'm in them to pick a team of bozos and see how they do together.
You're doing pretty
I'm not so in on wins and losses don't matter to me, but first pick, okay. Blah, 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 blah. Give me Kent.
It's Kent.
Yeah.
Lose to Twerp. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and do what Organic did to me last time and first pick Pikachu. So Yagachu will stay right where he is.
Yagachu, very popular. I'll take City.
City.
Yeah.
All right.
Of team
I will take. This one's actually pretty hard. I'm gonna go ahead and take Miyane.
Okay.
That was a really hard decision, for the record.
Yeah. I will take Corruption.
Okay. I will take Evaniscus.
Okay. Thundaga. Put the Hype Train boys together.
Nice, nice. Good call. I will take... Gatsby.
Okay. I'll take Xanarate.
Alright, I'll take Nick, and so I think we're pretty much ready to go here. Twerp's Mortal Teams, the Kent City, Corruption, Thundaga, and Xanarate. My Spirit Team, Yagachu, Miyane, Evaniscus, Gatsby, Nicken. Let's play Dodgeball. So I would have picked Xanarate, and I'll tell you why I didn't.
Okay.
Because Xanarate is not willing to give up carry, from what I'm observed, and Miyane is willing to give up carry, and I wanted Miyane to play carry, so that's why I didn't pick Xano, and as you can see, it's working out. They both picked Varian.
Yeah, Xanarate wasted no time in picking Varian. Zaken going right away with the Tactician Ashabel.
Yeah, he has a sick Ashabel. I like
Tankabel, he says.
Oh, nice. Even better.
I'd like to see what he builds for a Tankabel page. It'll be interesting to watch his build.
Yeah. I like that the two support mains I picked are playing support. Sometimes it's pretty unpredictable. You'll pick someone for one role and they'll play something else. It looks like, though, that everyone on my team is picking their main roles and their main shapers for the most part. So, well, there are a couple of exceptions. Evaniscus usually a support, but for the most part, everything looks pretty hunky-dory on my side. Your side looking good too, though. City, usually a jungler. He's jungling. Corruption jungles a lot too. He'll be a tactician for this game, along with Zakent, who is, of course, a tactician main, and Gladiator mains Thundaga and Xano.
The funny thing about Corruption is when we first kind of saw him in these in-houses, he made a name for himself with his jungle Kagen, but he swears that he's not a hunter player. He says, I don't know what's happening with the Kag. I mean, I'm sure he does play a little bit of it, but I do believe he prefers tacticians, so it'll be interesting to see on his role of choice.
Well, props to him for showing some versatility then. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah, he really has.
So the team comps, everything looking pretty even here. The Spirit team looking perhaps a little tankier.
Yeah, a little bit more hard support, I would say. It'll be interesting to see how the Tankabel build works. But that could be really useful for kiting around Volok. Keeping shapers like Renzo away and whatnot, and not letting him get involved and knock your team all around and do that kind of nonsense. Evaniscus starting with a power. That's the one kind of aberration in the starting items as we get started in the game here. So Evaniscus starting with early power.
That's interesting. I like it. Ashabel pretty safe and lame with her range, and he's looking to play basically perfectly and not get hit, so he won't need that life. I like it. Breaking the meta.
Yeah, well, he's got a very tanky loadout with Warden, 23 armor and 44 health, so maybe he's looking to, maybe he thinks his loadout will keep him safe long enough for him to turn that early power into, gosh, I don't even know, go for the early force, go for the early aggression, something like that, maybe even decay. Some Ashabels like decay, right?
Yeah, I'm guessing it won't be a decay, especially since the team he's against is not all that tanky. So, standard starts here for the junglers. Both junglers starting at their own power buffs, and it looks like the other teams won't even be harassing. So standard as standard can be. And of course, Volek has a much faster first clear than Salas does. The question is, as always, who will be going for a full clear and who will not? And I can't imagine that Yagachu on Volek will not go for a full clear. That would be quite strange. Salas, on the other hand, likely will not go for a full clear, if I had to guess, as he has a very difficult time doing that.
Yeah, Yagachu definitely seems to favor that full clear, but as we've spoken about before, it doesn't mean he won't gank. He will just only gank when it's perfectly opportune for him. So something to keep an eye out on if City wants to maybe get an advantage from the jungle position by ganking early and often, which he can do on Salas, but we'll see how they choose to play it.
It looks like they're both going for a full clear, which normally is pretty difficult on Salas. However, City does have 6% life drain. He also has 2% experience increase. You don't see that every day.
Oh. Oh, City. Oh, I was looking at Yagachu for a second. I'm like, Yagachu likes doing the movement speed. So the experience increase, that is something you don't see every day. I wonder about the merits of an experience page in the jungle. I mean, in theory, it could work. I just wonder if 2% is really enough to make a significant difference. Nicken kind of baiting out some abilities there, using Key to the Heart to escape.
Yep. And this is a chance for Miyane, Captain of Gondor, to show that he does deserve to be picked that highly here.
Captain of Gondor.
He's been saying
Going
just let
in
me
on
have
the Nicken.
carry. Yeah, Nicken playing fast and loose as usual. But yeah, Miyane has been saying, if people would just let me have carry, I would carry the game. This is his chance. And I know that Zano feels the same way about himself, and they're both on Varian here, who is commonly considered to be the best carry right now in high-level play, so we'll see how it pans out.
I mean, it's one of those things. It's kind of a personality quirk for those who enjoy playing carries. They have confidence in themselves, and that's why they want the pressure of the carry role, so to speak. So it's good to see that out of the players. You don't want a passive gladiator, in my opinion, as far as, play and whatnot and decision making. But everybody wants to carry, as everyone wants all the glory.
Yep. And people's personalities are definitely a reflection of the shapers they prefer. Like, how in League, like, all the Tryndamere players are really angry?
Yeah.
Volek is a little bit like that in this game. A lot of angry Volek players. Yagachu, a notable exception. Definitely not angry at all.
Yagachu, one of the more well-behaved members of the community.
Right. And speaking of Yagachu, he's coming in here, bottom lane for a gank.
He's going in onto Thundaga. Beautiful storm wall from Zekent, but it's not going to be enough. The follow-up was just too heavy, and that's what we were talking about earlier, about those opportune ganks. It looked like Mortal Side might have been a little hungry on Miyane, but now City is ganking in kind up top. They get one onto Evaniscus, but Gatsby is able to swag walk away.
So interestingly there, both of those kills went to the junglers, and the big difference there is that a kill is a lot better on Volek than it is on Salas.
True. And yeah, in both times, the Gladiator was the victim in those occurrences. Oh, Varian using a nice progress gate to avoid the steamrolling Volek. Not steamrolling in a sense of getting lots of kills, but he was just that extra move speed page really showing its merits there.
Yeah, that move speed is very popular on Volek nowadays. I think that Don Lu uses that as well.
Mm-hmm.
So things still pretty even here. Not much of an edge to either team. And those buffs will be coming up again pretty soon, so I don't think we'll see ganks again right away.
Doesn't look like it. Teams seem to be going back and getting their first round of buys in. As we can see, City has picked up a Form and a Will. Thundaga's got an early Pride. Purities for the Tacticians for Mortal. And Xanarate getting the Desire to go along with a power and a will. Over on Spirit side, Yagachu has his desire, as well as resilience, haste, and power. Evaniscus picks up an early aggression, 2 purities for the tacticians on Spirit as well, and Mianhe has the desire and a power.
Yeah, that power buff on Mortal Team's side will be up in about 15 seconds, but Spirit Team has placed a ward on it. I wonder if they're going to try anything cheeky, if you will.
They will be in position to make something happen. Maybe that's why we're seeing a little bit of aggression here, but now it looks like they're going to be content to allow the junglers to get their buffs and just kind of be cognizant of the fact that that's where they are.
Yeah, and the junglers have their ults up again here, so we may see some ganks along the way as they go through to the buffs.
I think we are getting a little noise from your fans for when you're not
Oh,
talking.
whoops.
Yeah.
Let me address that here. Hold on.
That's better.
Well, I was just muted during that, but what about now?
Ah, it just got really loud again.
It did?
Yeah, I don't know. It's like a weird staticky sound. Fan or not.
What about now? Anything?
No, I'm still getting it. Yeah, it's weird. I'm not sure. Call quality's fine. I mean, I don't know.
I wonder if it is the fan. Well, let me turn it off, and then we'll see if that's better. What about now?
Yeah, it was definitely the fan.
Okay. So I may need to turn my volume down.
Ooh, a blink from Gatsby. He's going to use his Masterpiece. Xanarate blinks away, as well as Progress Gate. Evaniscus lands a Gale, but a nice Dream Wrap from Dibs is going to give Xanarate enough shield, but he's got to be careful not to hang around too long, because Yagachu's looking, he might loop here after taking that. He checked the armor buff, and now he is going to look to loop. We'll see if the camera takes us back over there. No, we're going to watch bottom for now. Screw you, smart camera.
Renzo is sure.
Smart camera doing work in this game. So a nice attempt there. Xano barely got away with some help from Corruption, the tactician main apparently. Oh, and here it comes. Now that they have the wave, oh, it's the gank and the counter.
Oh, Xanarate. He tries to Progress Gate. Can he get the kill on Gatsby? He does. He will drop. Now they're going to chase down Yaga. I think they have enough to kill him here. Yep. Salas lands the snare, and that is all she wrote. City gets the double kill. So 2 for 1. Advantage Mortal side in that exchange.
Ooh, and
Now Mina using Key to the Heart to trap Zakent, lands the Siphoning Soul, as well as the Chaos Shell from Varian, and the Drain. It will probably be enough. Yes, it is. Now Thundaga trying to kill Mianhe on Varian. He lands. Oh no. Oh no, he didn't land the right click in time. It looked like he like stutter stepped himself and missed out on a potential kill there. So a nice job from Mianhe and Nikin.
Interesting. Yeah, in that exchange top lane, I feel like there was no way Yagachu knew that City had stayed around near that binding. He wouldn't have looped all the way around if he had known that another jungler would be there under the binding. So, good job by City.
Well, you know what? Yeah, they knew that Yagachu was hanging out up there. They saw him show on the Spirit Well, and they knew he was checking around, looking for... Dibs was scouting him out, off the mini-map. So, it allowed City enough time to get there and anticipate the dive. I thought they were going to be able to pick up Xanarate pretty easily, but nope, and now City's back again, focusing onto Evaniscus. Dibs lands the Nightmare. Can he land the... He's going to Q. There's the Judgment. Oh, no! Beautiful Renzo's Embrace. The kites are on, but a nice blink to get out of binding rage. Xanarate takes a couple kills, and City is now relentless.
Wow, City dominating this game.
Nice,
really good stuff
nice
there.
blink there. Really, really well done. Now Nikin is on his own. He's going to look to Key to the Heart to Varian, then come back out onto Thundaga, gets the fear, but Thundaga is giving chase, but now Yagachu is here. He gets slowed. Yagachu just sneezes on him under the binding and starts chopping the little minions.
Yeah, most people don't take Blink on Salas. Scrag does,
No.
and apparently City does as well. You usually see the Blitz instead, but Blink doing work this game.
Yeah, the Blink choice definitely worked out for him there. A little bit longer cooldown than Blitz. Not always the best when you're when you want to engage a team fight, because you'll dive into the team, stun them all, and then once your Blitz is up, you'll probably, or if you don't have Blitz, they'll probably CC you down and and end up killing you. But Blink paying dividends there.
So, still a pretty even game here. 4 kills to 3 in favor of Mortal Team, and Mortal Team getting a lot of damage down in that top binding. However, bottom lane, which I'm sure they'll show in a second,
Nina is a little caught out. Well, not caught out. She's on top of Valak here. Now the team is converging. They land onto Nikin and Yagachu. Yagachu uses the damnation, tries to pick up Thundaga, but it's not going to be enough. Enough support from the rest of the Mortal side.
Yeah, that was crazy. You can see the power of Valak's ult there. That was a 2v4, and he almost got a kill by himself. Just from the damage of the ult taking away.
Yeah, Valak's Damnation is a really, really nice skill to have in your back pocket on Valak, who usually is in the thick of things, in front of many men. And that's the thing, is his ultimate's actually going to be better the more people that are in it, because he's going to be doing damage to all of them and getting all of that damage, well, not all, 50% of the damage back in the form of healing.
Yeah, Evaniscus just threw down his ult behind the Mortal Team's binding, but Xanarate moved forward and did not get hit by it. So, Evaniscus' ult will be down for a bit.
Xanarate does have an ambition, so he doesn't need to go B. He's going to try and heal up in lane. Nice ripple from Corruption to keep Renzo off of Varian. But again drops to a drain from a previous engage, and they're looking to go in onto Thundaga. He uses Flashback to try and slow them under the binding, but they do not give chase.
Yeah, Miyane giving a good account of himself this game, but so is City. City waiting in the wings here. City always very aggressive when he jungles. In this game, it is working out big time. But you can see that Yagachu is there for the potential counter gank, hiding in the murder bush.
Yeah, I think Renzo was trying to bait with the recall there, thinking maybe they had a ward in that bush. They would see Renzo trying to recall, maybe go aggressive onto them. City will do that, and it's a 2-on-3. They look to get Evaniscus, but now he uses a nice dispel, and City is now on the run, being chased down. Renzo with a beautiful masterpiece, knocked them both up under the binding, but there's enough to allow everyone to survive. A little surprising. I really thought they were going to get a kill there, but a nice job from the Mortal side to keep everyone alive there. Some dream wraps coming out from Dibs, and City just being slippery little lizard he is. And oh no, they're going big onto Thundaga here. I don't think he's going to get out of this one. Oh no, they don't stay for one more. Underestimating the damage, and now Yagachu looking to be a bit caught out here. City comes in. The Wrath of Heaven comes down from the Spirit side, Ashabel, but it's not going to be enough. Too many bros on the Mortal side.
Jeez. So, a lot of action happening top lane there, and bottom lane for the Spirit Team trying to trade back on Thundaga, but they barely didn't get it. And now Spirit Team in a little bit of a tough spot.
Spirit Team does have a good push going down in the bottom lane. They have taken the first binding of the game and are looking for more. Thundaga kind of being left to his own devices to 2v1 Mina Varian, which isn't the ideal situation, but he's got some support now. And Renzo coming down as well. Maybe a little 3-on-3 fight happening here. City goes in, but Varian gonna progress gate to safety as Corruption flies in on Dibs using Reverie.
Yeah, that actually ended up being a really nice bait, getting that ult out of Dibs. So that's going to be nice for the next team fight here for Spirit Team.
Well, it looks like they might fight over this well. It is 15 minutes, and they're about to unlock. There they go. And now they've got people on the bottom side of the map to maybe force a fight at this well and look for a capture. Yeah, it's getting pinged out, so.
And that binding really close to dropping here. It looks like they will be able to hold off the siege at least for one more wave.
Oh, City goes in under the binding. That's a nice ultimate. Thundaga picks up the kill.
Yeah, Nikin playing with fire there again, and that time he got locked down before he could W away to safety.
Waystones again using a nice storm wall to block Valak's initial advance, but that's not going to be all of it. City is back again. Valak getting very low. He's going to be dropped. Zaken avoids the Wrath of Heaven, and now the Mortal side looks to swing this exchange in their favor. Renzo's going to blink away. They're just going to pick up Yagachu, and that will be it. Maybe the binding as well. Yeah, definitely the binding.
Yeah,
definitely the binding. Corruption chasing down Gatsby. Thundaga tries to get there, but the melee access memory misses just a little bit short.
Yeah, it's City just continuing to play so well, having a huge impact on this game.
And he's not done yet. He judgments onto Miyane on Varian, who's going to just have to progress gate over the wall to escape.
I do have to call out Gatsby's play as well. He actually blinked the Faris W on reaction there. And in an earlier fight, he held on to his stun for quite a while so that he could stun the target while Yagachu was in range to use his ability. So Gatsby playing well here. Thus far, he's had mixed results, but he's doing what he can. Nice there to protect Miyane.
Yeah, Gatsby on Renzo he's proven in a lot of these games to be very effective on that shaper. He had some really nice ultimates earlier on in this game. Didn't quite see the fruits of his efforts all the way through. A couple times, Mortal Side was able to escape and sneak away thanks to Dibs and friends, but no fault of his.
Yeah, no, I've found out about Gatsby's skill with Renzo the hard way. So he made a believer out of me by killing me.
Yeah. Now, what do you think about Evaniscus' decision to continue to push top lane while the rest of Mortal was down bottom taking Spirit Well? Should he have taken and tried and traded the Wells and maybe gotten the Spirit Well on the Mortal side?
Yeah, I guess in hindsight that probably would have been good. I think in the moment he probably just wanted to farm, get himself.
Being 0-2.
Yeah, I think he wants to have a lot more damage than he does right now. He has a destruction, which is nice, but his team is behind. He needs more than that.
2 pains now for the Mortal side, so they're looking to shut down Volek and Renzo. But Waystones again look to be in a bit of trouble, but a nice blink. Oh no! He looks to try to get to safety, but Spirit side goes really deep. I think Varian's going to die to the binding. Yeah, now Nicking gets snared underneath the binding and stunned, and Thundaga comes in with a nice melee access memory to clean it up. Very well played. A little bit too over-aggressive for Spirit side, and they pay the price.
Yeah, that was way too ham there. That was beyond ham. That was a whole pot roast. Diving the binding like that. Too much. I think that once they got the blink out of Zekent, that was the win. That was what they were looking for. And you know, Zekent really wanted to hold on to the blink. You could tell he was waiting until the last second to use it. He wanted to save it. They forced it out of him, and then they dove in, and it was a mistake.
So now Mortal side looking to pressure bottom lane more. There are 3 people down here. City is hiding, waiting for a little aggression out of Yagachu, but it won't be the case. They change their focus onto Renzo, who's a bit caught out here without any friends nearby. Uses Masterpiece, knocks up 3 people. It might be enough to stop this fight, but now Yagachu is here. He's got Damnation ticking. Thundaga had to use Stasis, but now Yagachu is left hung out to dry like yesterday's laundry. Gatsby, there was only so much he could do. He had to save himself earlier on in the fight, and Yagachu tried to make something out of it. Wasn't gonna be enough. Now City looking to do even more work. They catch Evaniscus with a nice scale. He uses Dispel to try to get away, and the Storm Wall might be enough to dispel this fight, but City goes deep, gets the kill under the binding. Now the rest of Mortal's team is here as well as Spirit, looking to dispel this fight. City's a little separated. Checking buffs, but that will be it.
City is just carrying
City
the
is
hell
everywhere.
out of this game.
He is everywhere.
5 on Salus. That's crazy. I mean, he's so big now. He's almost unkillable. I mean, look at all that armor. Miyane has some items, but it's going to do nothing. Very little penetration. Evaniscus, as you mentioned, is 0-3, and Yagachu in a very unfamiliar position behind on Volek. So there's no way for them to kill City in these fights. They're in a really tough spot.
Yeah, and the other thing to take note of is the experience gap. As you can see, City level 15. In comparison, I know it's a different role, but on Spirit's side, Renzo's only level 11, Mina's only level 12. So, you know, 3 levels is nothing to sneeze at. 3-4 levels is a lot. So it's going to take at least 3 members of the Spirit side in a 3-on-1 to probably take out City.
Yeah, in that last exchange near the top side of the map with Yagachu and Gatsby, I feel like when Yagachu went back in with his ult, he wasn't thinking about the fact that Thundaga had stasis, because it would have been a kill for Yagachu in a 1 fight. So a great job by Thundaga there, baiting the ult out of Yagachu and netting his team a kill. It looks like it'll at least be a Spirit Well for the Spirit team here. So
Zaken's trying to stop him up. They do get it. The Chaos Shell comes down onto Zaken as well as the Wrath of Heaven. Thundaga flashes in, tries to make something happen, gets chased out by Curse of Weakness. The Chaos Shells are ticking on everybody, so that's some good damage there. Xanarate uses a well-timed dispel to dispel the... Oh, and the Stagger comes down onto City, but it might be a little too aggressive. It happened a little too soon. Was that Stagger or Wither? That was probably Wither, not Stagger.
It was Wither, yeah. Oh, wow.
Oh, Nicken, Key to the Heart, but gets locked down under the binding once again. A little too aggressive for the Nick man.
You know, I was wondering if he would jump off, and then when he didn't, I said to myself, good job, nice restraint, Nicken. And then he dove in even further. And
yeah, it looked to be
a
little confusion for the Spirit side. They weren't all on the same page at the end of that exchange there.
Yeah, that was tough. Nicken saying this is why you need to get in the channel. So
lamenting the lack of voice comms.
So yeah, big lead for Mortal Team here. If you look at the scores, 6-0 on City, 4-1 on Thundaga, 2-1 on Xano. That's tough. Yagachu 2-5.
The Yaga Choo Choo train failing to leave the station this game.
Yeah, everything's coming up City this game.
Hey, and let's not discount my boy Corruption over here, going 0-10 right now, but being a big factor in this game. You know, there are 13 kills on the Mortal side. He's been involved in 10 of them. That is nice to see.
Yep. 0-0, the perfect score for a support as far as I'm concerned. And I'm a support main, so nicely done, Corruption. Some timely ults, some nice shields.
Yeah, it's really nice to see the Ripple used in tandem with Stormwall from Ashabel. It can really give bruisers. I mean, you're seeing that right now. They're making Yagachu's life hell because every time he gets close, he gets knocked back by Stormwall. Tries to get close again, knocked back by Ripple. So it just really takes away the sticking power of shapers like Valak when you're able to consistently knock them back like that.
Yeah, CC can be tough for Valak if he doesn't have Blitz up.
Xanarate getting poked down heavily underneath the bindings. It can't get stunned and eats a Wrath of Heaven. So some nice poke from the Spirit side here. Now Mortal looking to collapse here at the bottom lane. Yagachu trying to sneak a power buff, and Zakent looks like he's going to recall.
And if you look at the two Ashabel builds, they couldn't be more different. As we talked about earlier, Zakent going for a more tanky Ashabel, more team fight oriented with some aura items, and Evaniscus looking for damage, which is interesting because when he plays Zalgus, he does not look for damage.
A mortal binding has been destroyed.
That is very true. He is on Gladiator. Normally when he plays Zalgus, he does play Tactician.
Yeah. So there's something for Spirit Team. Getting some map control here, although at this point it will be a 5v5, and I question whether Spirit Team can win a 5v5 fight.
This would be an aggressive Parasite, but Mortal side looking to engage, although they are kind of low from all of the poke. Nicken comes in from the backside, uses a nice Key to the Heart, and then casts it again and gets a nice spear off. Yagachu has the Damnation going. They pick off Varian for the Mortal side. Mina falls for Spirit. City picks up, or City had picked up the earlier kill. So 2 kills for the Spirit side. Looking to capture City out here now. He is on the run and the chase is on. Cue the Benny Hill music.
And cue the brick from Renzo any second now. No. Wow, nice escape to the freaking jungle creatures there from City.
It's one of those things where it makes Salus very difficult to chase if he can't get into the jungle and there are camps for him to jump to. So the chase is going to continue here. Will they go all the way with it, or will they stop the chase and look to do Parasite? Very risky to do as well because, you know, the jungler is alive. You could see City come flying back in here and maybe try and steal it with a well-timed Vanquish. It will be difficult with 4 people to oppose him, but we'll see how this shakes out. City is back, looking for trouble. He is very tanky. Spirit side looks to be focusing him. Evaniscus gets hit with the Judgment, uses the spell. City now on the run. A nice blink to avoid the Kinetic Sculpture, but that might keep him low enough to prevent the Para-Steal. Spirit side does secure it.
Yeah, that was rough. Mortal Team did not have Parasite warded, and they were pinging it. They wanted to try to contest, but they just didn't have enough presence there. So good job by City not dying for nothing there. But a nice swing in momentum for Spirit Team. They have something going for them here. They got the Tier 2 bottom lane. They have Parasite, and Now, if they push together, I think they could potentially get something done, because with the para buff, they may be able to win a 5v5 team fight. In fact, they just won one without the para buff, so I think they're actually in a pretty decent spot for once.
Yeah, Mortal got a little bloodthirsty when they realized the shift towards Parasite, and went a little aggressive trying to kill Evaniscus on Ashabel, and left themselves in shoddy positioning, as looks to be what might be happening once again. But this is a 4-on-5, so they do have that going for them. They're going in onto Nick, and Final Protocol is there. It will just take him out. Now Gatsby getting locked down a bit, but here comes Yagachu. Curse of Weakness is onto Corruption. Gatsby comes blinking back in. There's the Damnation going down. City will drop up top, but not before getting a double kill of his own. Now Mortal is on the run. Spirit looking to give chase. Evaniscus' slipstream just misses it. Waystone's Kent uses or gets rippled to release the slow, but Evaniscus hits him with a gale and will pick him off as well.
Yeah, I feel like Nicken, his average lifespan in these fights is about 2 seconds. He just jumps off and fears so aggressively every time, but to his credit, it set up a win for his team there. And Yagachu, I think for the first time this game, doing a lot of work with that ult, hitting a lot of people for a lot of damage.
You know, and that's the thing, because Nicken is doing a really nice job of being ultimate distraction. Uh-oh, Corruption caught out under the binding here. He's going to drop. Rest in peace, my friend. He gets the big chop. But
Yagachu was being the perfect gentleman we described him as earlier.
Yeah.
He was going to give the kill to Evaniscus. He just stood there in front of Corruption and then cut him in half. What a guy. What jungler gives up a kill?
Not many.
Has captured a well.
He's the anti-Volok player.
The Spirit team has captured a well.
So
saw the
now
surrender
the
vote
scales are
coming up.
tipping a little.
Yeah.
Uh-oh, City walks into the wrong bush. I don't know whose Ashabel ult that was. It didn't look like it hit City at all, but I couldn't tell. A lot of
Yeah, I
big
think it was
rock
Spirit
particles.
Teams
Yeah.
there. Wait, no, actually, it was Mortal Teams.
No,
it
that was
the
Mortals,
Kinsel.
yeah. So enough to allow City to escape. Although
City's
Spirit...
rebirth is down. Could he potentially be killable?
Ooh, they're landing the Gales, trying to keep the slows on, but just don't want to chase too hard. Ooh,
There's
Ashabel
the other
tries to get
Ashabel.
cute with the Wrath of Heaven, but will not pick up City, as the Kent will try and take the bottom well and then rush back to help his team at this binding. The momentum really started to swing here with that Parasite, and now Spirit side seems to have the advantage.
Yeah. And it's you can see the morale dropping on Mortal Team. They went for that surrender vote. So yeah, things have definitely swung in Spirit Team's favor here. Huge reversal of fortunes. And I think at this point, Spirit Team is actually in a pretty decent spot. Level-wise, Evaniscus is 20, the highest level in the game, and their items aren't looking too shabby either.
No, they're really starting to get there, really starting to ramp up. As you can see, Varian has his big core going as Spirit side looks to take down this binding, the Mortal Wrath of Heaven and the Spirit Wrath of Heaven, both dropping, but Waystones again walks into a slipstream. He's gonna have to blink. Will he survive? Dibs uses Dream Breath, but Evaniscus lands the Gale. Now Yagachu is blitzing in, looking to do as much damage as possible. He's in between three people with that damnation ticking. Nicken gets the key to the heart and finishes with the Siphon Soul. City is not going to have enough to 1v4, and it looks like Spirit is going to take this game.
Wow.
Really, really well done. They struggled for the earlier part of this matchup, but got their act together later on with a nice Parasite and some well-timed engages, and they will be rewarded with a victory.
What a comeback. That was totally crazy. I mean, I just feel bad for City. I mean, how much more work could he have possibly put in this game? But GG all. Wow, what a comeback. So yeah, I know who I would have given MVP to had Mortal Team won. But since they didn't, who would you give it to on Spirit Team?
You know, I think I would give it to Evaniscus because, I mean, look at his farm. He did Miane eventually surpassed him in farm towards the end of the game, but what I really liked about it was that he never panicked in the early game. He kept, even when he was down 0-2 in the beginning, he stayed top and got his farm on. And I mean, we kind of criticized him for not going for the well the one time, but he had a plan and he stuck with it. And from the point that he was 0-2, he finished 3-3-6. So I'm a big how you finished guy, and going 0-2 to 3-3-6, I give him the credit for that. I saw him land some nice last hits with his Gale. So Evaniscus will get my MVP vote.
Evaniscus did play well. I'm actually going to give MVP to Ordinary Gatsby, who I thought was really on point this game with his stuns, with his shields, with his ults. He played very well, and this game he was anything but ordinary. And Miyane asking me, did he redeem himself or what? #wrecked. Indeed.
Yagachu is resetting his computer, so he will be back in a second.
Okay.
We can go ahead and get another lobby open.
Yes. So let me think of a neat password.
You could just keep it the same password all night long.
I could do that, but what if we want to mix up the players? Like, for instance, Don Liu may still be around. So I will send you the password in Skype chat.
Okay.
I want to give people a chance to play, mix up the players a little bit here.
Fair enough, fair enough.
Get some new guys in here, maybe. I will, of course, invite City. I just feel bad for that guy.
He tried. He had the backpack on. He tried to put his team in the backpack.
I will invite both of the people we selected to be MVPs. All three, actually, if we're counting City. And let's see if spots start to fill up here.
As we wait for spots to fill, I'm going to grab a beverage. Pardon me.
Okay. So, I'm just sending out those invites. If you're just joining us on stream, thanks for watching. Not like we're ending or anything, but while we're waiting for Twerp, I'm Sporesmith, and together Twerp and I are doing some dodgeball mode in-houses, in which he and I pick teams and they go to war for our amusement. So, I'm sending out invites. We do have a few spots left here. Zakent perhaps indicating that he will spectate this game. I wanted to get Rattan in this game. Because I wanted the two kings of the in-house to go up against each other, Rattan and Don Liu. But it was not to be. Did I invite 50? I'm not sure.
I'm not sure.
Who can we get in here? Did I invite Zano? Let's try that again. Oh, let's get Nick in here. I'll throw an invite Spinal Dash's way. I don't think he's here, but just in case.
Force him.
Alright, one spot left. Who's getting it?
Uno Spato.
I invited a bunch of people.
Oh, Yagachu is coming back.
Oh, okay.
He's gonna sit this one out, it seems. Itadodal getting here on... Oh, Itadodal jumps over to spectate, so...
Alright, there we go. Wow. Miyane saying, I want to be on Nickens' team if possible, giving some praise to his lane partner there.
He has faith in his lane partner, it seems. At least from last game.
You know that
No, Yagachu, there is a spot. Itadodal went over to spectator, so you can come.
You know that Nickens' donger was raising after that compliment from Miyane. You don't see that too often. So, did I... Where is Yagachu?
Yagachu or Yagatu?
I think I have both of them on my list. Or maybe I don't have Yagatu. Let me just type that in here. I sent the invite, I think.
We shall see.
Dragain says only 3 a.m. for Rattan. We can force him. Hi, good old Malk. I rarely look at the chat, but every now and again, I'll sneak a peek. Okay, City...
Uh-oh.
No, he's fine. He messaged me. He'll be right back.
Ew.
No worries. Nobody panic.
Everybody panic!
Where's Pikachu? Where'd he go? Oh, actually, I almost forgot. Let me lower my volume, so then maybe I can turn my fan on.
That might work.
Let me... Oh yeah, this thing is super high. No wonder. Let's go with that. And that. And do you hear my fan?
No?
Perfect.
Yeah.
I may be a little lower, but worth, because I want that fan on.
Some people... Yeah, I know. I hear you about the fan, buddy. It's been hot here in the Northeast. In
No
the
doubt.
tri-state area. Oh, it's been a very hot weekend. It's so hot. I haven't had a summer. It's an Indian summer, they call it. Your father used to call it an Indian summer. God rest his soul.
Can we just do a whole game with that accent?
Really? You want? I don't know. If that might get tired after a while.
All right. So, we have all 10 people here. I think we're ready to go, and I believe I will be picking first this game.
Yeah.
So, I gotta go with the sheriff, Don Liu. Will stay where he is.
You're a real piece of shit, Sporesmith. I'll take. I will take Evaniscus.
Really?
Yeah.
I will take Yagachu.
Yeah, you can. That's fine.
Oh boy.
Give me my boy. Ooh, yeah, give me City.
Okay.
Oh, he's supporting. Well, whatever.
All right. I wonder. I'm gonna go with Freezy.
Okay. I'll take the goat.
All right. I will go with Miyane.
Now the question is, do I take Nicken?
Do we split them up like
Just
split up the elated
be a dick.
shivulating? Yeah.
Oh, such a.
I can hear the Jeopardy
struggle.
music.
I'll take Gatsby. It's fine. You can take Nicken.
Oh boy! All right. Now, of course, it still is my choice. I could deny them the combo, but since they requested it, especially for this game, I will take Nicken. So, I believe everyone's ready. Wow, Don Liu says, "Lol, easy game for us." Ooh, Don Liu.
We'll see if the confidence is warranted.
Wow. So Twerp's Mortal Team, Evaniscus City, Ghostly Goat, Gatsby, and Xanarate. My Spirit Team, Don Liu, Yagachu, Freezy, Miyane, and Nicken. Let's play dodgeball. And I think that actually Don Liu said that after my first two picks. I think it was only him and Yagachu, and that was when he said it, if I had to guess.
That's fine. It's good to see they have confidence.
But I do have to say, you are the king of the upset. I was watching you and Scrag do this, and Scrag picked a team of 5 very well-known players, and you picked a team of 5 relatively unknown players, but they were players who had been doing well in the in-houses. And we were all watching the game and talking on, in the client and on Skype and Mumble and whatnot. We were saying, Scrag's team is going to crush them, and exactly the opposite happened.
I think I vaguely recall the game you're talking about, but that's my whole. I like those bad news bears kinds of teams. I like the ragtag bunch. I've always loved movies like Major League and Necessary Roughness, like sports movies with Mighty Ducks, all the ones nobody wants, and then they come together and win the big game. That's what I'm about. I'm about the big moments. Sure, they won't have the best record in the regular season, but when the time is right and when it's the climax of the movie, they're going to show up and they're going to be a force, and I have faith.
All right, well, be that as it may, I like my based boys to bully your team into submission here. So we'll see what happens.
You know, that's fine. They can try. They can certainly try. But I think we've got a nice team for peeling. We got a Reyna, Gatsby on Reyna as opposed to Renzo. City is on Kagen. So maybe some easier ways, or maybe some ways to kite the melee bruisers of the Spirit side. The Dawn Lu and Yagachu connection.
Yeah, and I wonder if Don Lu has made a fatal mistake here. He said easy game, and then he picked Mara, who he does not usually use. Don Lu, known as a specialist, he uses 1, maybe 2 shapers in each role, and Mara, not one of his mains. He may be underestimating the mean green machine here.
Be there.
City in the jungle again. He played out of his mind last game. He did all he could, and he'll try again. This time, Evaniscus on his signature shaper Zalgus, and Ghostly Goat on his main squeeze Ashabel. So you do have a lot going for you. However, on the other hand,
I've got the lore connection here. Reyna and Zalgus, and now
Murder Bush? Oh my goodness. I thought we were going to have someone murdered in the Murder Bush for the first time.
From Evaniscus just misses. Maybe if he caught somebody, he probably could have burned a spellbook spell or something.
Yeah, and I'm going to give Yagachu a little credit there for dodging that, because Evaniscus, the master of the Q, does not miss often. But yeah, Yagachu on Volok again, and as we've talked about before, people usually don't pick the same shaper 2 games in a row in these in-houses, and I'll bet you anything, Yagachu picked Volok again because he's pissed at himself for not doing well last game, and he wants to redeem himself.
Not that he didn't do well last game. It was more like he didn't completely steamroll the enemy team.
Right. But he's used to doing that, and you know he wants to do it this game.
What is this link? I have to look at it.
Wow.
Oh, that.
Blink comes out of Freezy at level 1, which is interesting. I'm not sure he needed to necessarily, as Don Lu did not take, or that's not Don Lu. I don't know what I'm talking about. Xano did not, I see a Kenstone, I think it's Don Lu. Xano did not take Q at level 1, so he did not have the slow. But nonetheless, Freezy's Blink down.
We'll see if that plays into City's jungle path, if he decides to make a pit stop, so to speak, in the top lane and look for the ganks.
Don Lu with Gladiator Mara, and I wonder how effective he can be in that lane. He's up against Kensu Zalgus, which is super tough to lane against for a melee Gladiator. And you can see again the requested combo here, Miyane and Nikken. I gave them what they wanted, now they have to win, right? That's how it works?
They've got to prove you right. And and I mean, even me, they made such a compelling case. I didn't feel right splitting up the bros.
Yeah, neither did I. And you can see, oh wow.
Don Lu goes in. Yagachu is there though and gets the sneeze. And well, he didn't even need the big chop. As you can see, he's got Sentinel Strike empowered. He just needed a regular auto to finish him there. So Yagachu, ever the opportunist.
Yeah, and I think that Yagachu actually moved back away from Xano there, anticipating a blink, and then moved back in when he realized that Xano was giving in and accepting his fate. So really high level play there from both people. Yagachu anticipating the blink, and Xano holding on to it and saying, I'm dead no matter what. Really, really good stuff from both players.
Yeah, as you can see, Yagachu just kind of spending the majority of his time in the beginning of the game here at the top half of the map. He hasn't moved on to his haste or his armor, electing to take the mortal side armor, and now he's looking to maybe make something happen over at the Money Pigs, and he's got friends there. This could be disastrous for City. Oh no, smart camera please. City uses his quicksand and tries to escape. Evaniscus lands the Chains of Fate, but it's not going to be enough. Freezy will pick up the kill on City, so Yagachu just kind of nesting up in the top lane. Now Nikken, on the run. He lands a wither onto Ghostly Goat, who actually Gatsby has to blink and get the kill. Now Miyane using Progress Gate to get back underneath the binding, but a nice wither from Nikin to prevent his death and allow Miyane to get some good damage onto Ghostly Goat on Ashabel.
Yeah, at least they got the blink out of Gatsby there. That's something. But so far, the Miyane-Nikin combo not working out. And
Breezy gets caught out by a chain, uses Flourish, tries to escape. Yagachu is there to help out. Donlu trying to do everything he can. They're going in onto Xanarate. Yagachu is here. He's gonna... Oh, he Curse of Weakness Evaniscus to maybe focus onto Xanarate. Evaniscus now blinks with the chain. With the kill shot's not enough, but the blink is enough. It's a good thing he saved that blink. It got him a kill, and Gatsby with a beautiful rotate. He's gonna tank a couple shots. Oh no, Evaniscus, if he gets Snapdragon camera, why? Oh!
Oh my goodness. Crazy stuff there. And yeah, there you see the result of Xano's composure as he got ganked. It netted him a kill, and he even lived to tell the tale.
I really thought Yagachu was going to get out after the kill shot, but Xanarate saying, no sir, I am not giving this one away. I am catching this fish, and he did.
Really, really nice play from Xanarate so far this game. And Miyane struggling a bit.
We've lost some of them.
Something tells me that Yagachu will be camping that top lane whenever he can. One, because I think Gladiator Mara probably needs the help, and two, because he is teammates with Don Lu, and they are on voice chat together.
And yeah, when you're a teammate, you usually have similar playstyles. Miyane kind of botches his Progress Gate, gets a shield from Renzo over the wall, and Yagachu is there as well. But City throws a nice quicksand and uses Heat Wave to prevent Yagachu from any more pursuit.
Miyane face planting there into the wall.
Oh!
Hey. Wow.
Ghostly Goat gets the kill onto Miyane, but now the rotate from the top lane. A nice Gale is going to slow the advance. Evaniscus looks to rotate, but he looks to be a little caught in the middle there. I don't know if he's going to try and 2v1. He's got Kenzu, who's in the lane farming. We are focused on the bottom, and now we're going back up top.
Now
we're going back bottom. Look at that. I love the light effects from Devoted Friends Arena. It's a very pretty skin.
Yeah, that skin is amazing. The smart camera is giving me an epileptic seizure, but the skin is nice while that's happening.
So much action. Smart camera doesn't know what to do this game. To go trying to stormwall the the kinetic sculpture from Renzo.
Yeah, Mortal Team winning both lanes so far.
Trying to jinx my
They have
boys.
City in the jungle.
Trying to jinx my boys, talking about how well they're doing.
Oh, no, not at all.
This is kind of what happened last game, though. So, you know, it all comes down to those late game parasites because these teams are so, you know, even. All of these players are pretty close to skill level. Donlu gets caught underneath the binding, but it looks like he's going to be able to escape. Can Freezy? Oh no! The Void Breaker misses completely, just a bit outside. And now Yagachu is there from behind. He gets the Curse of Weakness, and the Damnation's taken away. The big chops are going to be the end of Kenzu once again.
Maybe I did jinx them because, yeah, big swing there. They baited the ults out of both of the Mortal Team players, Xano and Evaniscus, and got nothing for it. Except a brutal death at the hands of Yagachu.
For those asking about the smart camera, I got to kind of leave it on just so me and Sporesmith can be seeing the same thing at the same time.
Oh, and there's the classic Renzo stun on a minion. For anyone who's ever played Renzo, yeah, for anyone who's ever played Renzo, you know it's going to happen at least once per game.
Oh, I flip 1 minion a game on Cerulean. It's a rule.
Tradition. Gatsby and I once had a conversation about how you are literally obligated to stun 1 minion per game.
You have to. It's like you got to pay the toll.
Yep. You don't do that, it's some bad juju.
Got to pay the troll toll. Get into that boy's hole. The stun onto Gatsby. He uses Repelling Strike. Ghostly tries to land a Gale.
Yagachu with 2 kills this game, so he's in a much better position than he was at the early part of last game. And unfortunately for Mortal Team, 2 of their kills are on Gatsby, on Reyna, who is not who you want to get the kills, perhaps the worst person.
Uh-oh, Evaniscus seems to be in a bit of trouble here. He is surely going to fall, which he will. Xanarate trying to do some work onto King of Masks, but there are too many bros up there for him to really get too aggressive for that kill. City is looking for maybe if they dive to counter, but he's just going to recall in the bush instead.
Yeah, and the gentleman, Yagachu, once again intentionally giving up the kill so that Don Lu could get it. This guy's manner is just off the charts.
Spirit side kind of evening the game here now, 4-4 in the kill department, maybe about to be 5-4.
Boy.
The Curse of Weakness comes in, he uses Blink, eats the Drain, uses Void Breaker, but Damnation. And Donlu actually picks up the last hit with the Bramble Crush.
So now the base players have 2 kills apiece, and that is bad news for the Berenstein Bears, aka the Mortal Team.
Or like
They're
the
gonna
Bad News Bears.
Right, that too. Yeah, that skin is super cool.
The
That's
lighting effects.
super tanky
Look
now.
at the lighting effects on Renzo's body. Like, that's the little subtleties. I love that kind of nonsense.
Renzo's body has never looked more magnificent than when Illumined.
this light! Stop this fighting and just revel in Renzo's magnificence.
Reyna blinded by her own skin's effect there. She was mesmerized by Renzo's back.
You could say she was blinded by the light. Oh, the Wisdom's Reach, as well as the Wrath of Heaven and the final chapter, but Gatsby has to blink in to get another kill, and now Nikken looking to escape, and Yagachu is here. There's the big haul. They pick up Renzo, and now they change the attention onto Yagachu, but Donlu with a nice Snapdragon over the binding. City picks up Donlu, but now not Donlu, he picked up someone else. The King of Mask, not the King of Mask, the Yagachu is what I meant. And King of Masks, oh, a nice flourish to avoid the Gale. Evaniscus gets locked down under the binding and gets dropped. Xanarate is eating binding shots, but he's trying to get onto Donlu. Oh no! And now Gatsby looking to get another kill. He's gonna die to the binding though. Oh no! And Xanarate drops as well.
Wow, that was a
Oh, but the
crazy
binding. Okay, so Xanarate was an execute. No one got the credit for the kill on there, but he falls nonetheless.
Yeah, Gatsby blinking in for multiple auto attack kills on Reyna this game. And yeah, that was just a completely wild fight there. It was a nice juke by Freezy on Khan there to avoid the Q from Ghostly Goat, but he took Freezy out with the auto in the end. And yeah, so much stuff happening. I think if the binding hadn't executed Xano, it would have been worth for Don Lu to stay under the binding at the end. He made the conscious decision to stay underneath it and attempt to trade back kills with the binding. He got one, but I think it only would have been worth it if he had gotten both of those.
Yeah, I don't think anyone realized that Xanarate had been completely 100-0'd by the binding. In the initial part of the dive, he was tanking a lot of the binding shots while Gatsby was underneath, knocking people around with his shield and his hammer. So then when he came back into it, the binding picked him up, and Evaniscus gets stunned, and now Reyna is here, but Yagachu always showing up from behind. Ghostly tries to knock him back, Evaniscus will fall, and now the finale comes out, and the Wrath of Heaven, Gatsby trying to repel the advance of the Spirit side. Xanarate looked like he had to DC, but he is now back.
Yeah, I also have to call out in the earlier fight that Miyane had a nice insta-dispel of Gatsby's ult, and then Evaniscus landed the Q right after.
Oh no, the Masterpiece knocks up Xanarate as well with Mara, using Nature's Fury to get the stun off City, now caught out underneath his own binding. He will drop. Miyane gets the double kill. And a binding as well for their troubles.
Yeah, there's so much going on
no,
today.
don't try to save that binding, you fools.
A mortal binding has been destroyed.
Yeah, it's
So
like I
now-
can barely stop to pause and talk about a fight before another one happens.
I know, it's certainly been a very action-packed game, as 20 kills already in this game, and we're only 14 minutes in, so I love that, though.
Yeah, this is wild. Gatsby with 3 kills on Reyna, and he is just going to be super beefy. Where's the beef? It's on Gatsby, and he even steals the jungle monster from Yagachu there. Donlu looking to be super aggro as always.
Mortal binding has been destroyed.
Taking out more bindings. Now Spirit side seems to be getting their act together a little bit more here in the mid-game as we transition into the mid-game.
Another nice cue from Evaniscus there, as usual. Nicken needs to not recall there, yeah, and he gets out of dodge. I also like the restraint from Yagachu there. He did not pop his ult when there was a chance to fight. So, good job being patient. I feel like there is a small window here for Spirit Team to fight while City's hook is down, but it will be up shortly, I believe. Let's look at that cooldown. Yep, it's up now.
I want to take a minute to take a look at the items, but I feel like a fight is going to break out at any minute. Here comes Yagachu. The quicksand goes down, but the blitz is a little bit late on the draw. The blinks are down, the ults are down. There's the damnation. There's the void breaker. Asherbell will drop. The final chapter is out from Evaniscus, but he does not get any kills. They are very low. A beautiful big hole from City. That was out of this world. And Evaniscus giving chase as well, lands the chain onto Freezy. They're looking to get the kill. Reyna gets a nice shockwave. Freezy will not drop, but the Wisdom's reach. Gatsby picks up another kill. Now the attention changes back to Donlu, who will drop to Xanarate, and now Immortal Side is cooking with some fire.
Oh my god.
That hook was out of control. I didn't even know how that happened.
City popped some PCP earlier tonight. He is out of his mind. Great hook for him. There's so much to talk about in that fight. Yagachu blitzed after he was already slowed, so the blitz was basically worthless. And he went in with the ult anyway. They got a kill, and then he was just standing inside the wall for so long. He was living inside the wall like Harry Potter. And when he emerged, City just hooked him right into the binding. Great job there by City.
That was crazy. I don't even know how that hook happened. I thought I heard it going off, and then the next thing I know, just 2 people got like dragged across the entire screen. It was ridiculous.
Yeah, and another great Q from Evaniscus. Another auto attack kill from Gatsby. These fights are completely bonkers.
So we finally reached more minutes in the game. Oh no, never mind. What am I talking about? There's 25 kills now. I was like, oh no, yeah, 13 kills and we're 15 minutes in, but nope, I forgot to look at both sets of kills.
I think Gatsby has gotten 4 auto attack kills on Reyna. The deadliest Reyna.
I mean, he went ham onto Freezy at the end there. He landed like the bounce from Shockwave onto Freezy and like was just giving chase. Finally had to throw down the Wisdom's Reach and get the auto, but it's nice to see Reyna kind of throwback to the old raid boss Reyna. He's 4-1-7 with that prosperity and equilibrium, so he's doing a nice job here. As you can see, some of the rest of the items here, ones to take note of. Donlu has the glory, the discipline, and the balance. Maybe looking to go a little bit of on-hit to supplement his aura. Miane working on the haste. Oh no, final chapter goes down. Donlu is involved here. He gets slowed from the quicksand there, giving chase to Finale, tries to slow it down. Another big haul. Xanarate gets another kill. Evaniscus looking to end Freezy underneath the binding, but he gets snared. The duress at max range, and he will drop.
Wow, and actually Nicken going in
Oh,
hard
the Wrath of
here.
Heaven! Oh, he blinks out of it.
Nicken needs to be careful. That Mortal team still has Parasite buff.
And here's Miane, though. He lands the Chaos Shell. Yagachu coming around from the rear once again. That's his favorite point of entry.
I don't blame him. Yeah, Yagachu looking.
Oh, and now he's in all 3 of them. The 4 of them. The damnation's ticking, but he's got no support. You can't leave Yagachu alone like that.
Oh wow. The rest of his team was not in position there. More miscommunication. And it's weird. It's only 2 more kills for the Mortal team than there are for the Spirit team, but it feels like the Mortal team...
Oh, and a Wisdom's Reach gets 3 people! There's the Dispel from Miyane. He's trying to run away. Freezy looking to go away. Can Gatsby get another kill? He gets it with the Shockwave, but now he's eating binding shots, and Varian surely is going to get a kill there. And Kagen did some kind of stun, but the camera's taking us over here. Donlu giving chase to Ashabel. She's going to try and kite with these Gales. This is all about Kenny land the Snapdragon. Evaniscus lands the chain just to keep the Snapdragon out of range. And now they're going to chase down on Tamara. Will they continue the fight? Another chain lands. A Slipstream lands. The Dispel, the Duress hits them, and Ghostly picks up the kill. So with help from Evaniscus, Ghostly Goat turns a bad situation into a good one. I don't know how that fight with Kagen and Varian ended up. I can assume Varian won the fight since he is currently breathing and Kagen is respawning. And now Ghostly Goat, I don't think he's going to get away from this one too, but this is spell from the Curse of Weakness. Oh, noes. Another wasted Dispel.
Blitz down. Yagachu's Blitz is down. It'll be down for the next team fight, certainly with how quickly these team fights are happening. But yeah, Miyane did win that fight away from the comfort of Smart Camera. He got a double kill. So he's actually in a decent spot now, 4-2. Spirit Team does have Vim on their damage dealers, which is good. But look at Ghostly Goat, 5-1 on Ashabel. And let's not forget about Gatsby nearly unkillable.
Uh-oh. I thought Xanare might have been having some like connection issues. He was just kind of standing in place. Luckily, he had friends around.
I imagine he was typing there. Yeah, Yagachu in a bit of a weird spot here. He has his ult, but he does not have Blitz. And you generally want to use the two together. So you may have to use Blitz as a counter-engage here. I mean, his ult rather, excuse me, his ult as a counter-engage measure here. If his team gets aggressed, or if he gets aggressed on by Evaniscus and Xana.
The Voidbreaker, the final chapter, the Wisdom's Reach. That's 3 ultimates down. Damnation comes up, but it's too little too late. They pick up Yagachu, the Wrath of Heaven. It's going to get some damage onto Nicken and Freezy. A lot of mitigation there between Renzo's shield. Gatsby doing everything he can to take down the binding. They get it. The snare from Zalgus. The Masterpiece knocks up 3 people. The Bramble Crush tries to separate him. City's here with with his Quicksand and the stuns. And Nicken using as many shields as possible, but he's gonna fall to City.
Yeah, and Yagachu just out of position there. The earlier time when he was caught, it might have been his team not following up, but in that case, he was trying to flank and he was way too isolated there. And you saw him try to use the ult to sustain himself at the very end, but it was way too little, way too late. I think he should have either saved the ult or he should have used it much earlier and just engaged and hoped that his team would follow up and get something out of it.
I think the chain of CC was just too much for him. The Voidbreaker and the stuns and the snares and the Wisdom's Reach. It was just, he wasn't able to use his ultimate early enough. And now Mortal side looking to get even more of an advantage by taking the Parasite. Someone should go down and cap that bot well before recalling. Maybe that's what Ashabel or Kenzu will do.
Yeah, and Mortal Team in the lead now. We see Spirit Team's items. They've bought. Donlu with a Glory, which is interesting. You see a lot of people prefer Vengeance on Mara, but it's going to be a Glory for Donlu along with a Betrayal. Yagachu has that Decay. He also has a Balance and a Freedom. Prosperity, Duress, and Aggression for Freezy. Nicken with the Devotion and a Resolve. And Miyane, after that double kill, has Ambition, Dominance, and Ruin. And now the Mortal Team has bought. It's going to be an Ambition, a Pain, and a Ruin for Xano. Prosperity, Duress, Energy for Evaniscus. City has Subjugation and Rebirth. Ghostly Goat way ahead with Destruction, Pain, Chaos, and an Aggression. And Gatsby huge. Prosperity, Equilibrium, and Rebirth.
And the double Pain for the Mortal side, which is really, really smart on both of the Gladiator, both of the carry shapers. So, I mean, and it's a wise pickup because between the 3 of the biggest problems, and, you know, Varians always end up getting a little bit of lifesteal. So those 2 Pains are going to shut down potentially 4 different shapers on the Mortal side. So not a bad decision to pick up 2.
Yeah,
Nicken,
smart itemization there.
Man, Nicken having to use Masterpiece to escape the chain of CCs along with the Duresses. It's just really Evaniscus. It's a beautiful snare. And now the Quicksand to try and cut off Donlu. He's going to have to blink, but he avoids a Voidbreaker for his troubles.
The mortal team
Interesting
has
choice there to
captured
take
a well.
Blink on Mara. That's not something you see every day. Generally, that's a shaper people pick Blitz on, but Don Lu choosing Blink instead. He at least got the ult out of Xano, so not a terrible trade. But of course, Xano's ult will be up long before Don Lu's Blink.
Ooh, that chaos just makes that Asher Bell poke hurt that much more.
Yep, and Mortal Team with the Strider has a good chance to siege here.
Don
Big
Lu pops the ultimate and
Yagachu.
goes in. City looks to be caught out here. He gets eaten by a binding shot, and Miyane gets credit for that kill. A blink from Zalgus as he tries to run. The Wisdom's Reach comes out. Don Lu is on the chase, as well as Yagachu, who's going to get taken down kind of low here. Gatsby doing everything he can to keep the three big-bodied bruisers from the Spirit side away from his squishy carry friends. Doing a nice job of it, but I don't... Oh, no! Don Lu lands a nice Snapdragon, but the Storm Wall and the Gales are going to try and kite. The Bramble crushes down. Yagachu trying to give chase. He wants to land Curse of Weakness. He wants to land it and get the big chop to dispel on the Curse of Weakness. The chase continues, but he's going to have to give up the goat there.
A spirit binding.
Literally.
Wow.
Give up the goat.
That was a spicy juke there from Don Lu, moving out of the way to that Q that might have killed him. And a really nice dispel for the second time this game from Ghostly Goat, as you mentioned. Meanwhile, though, Miyane getting pretty big here, slowly but surely, 6-2 now. He hasn't bought again, but when he does, he's going to be a force to be reckoned with. If you look at the Mortal Team,
Yeah, he's almost at about 3K.
Gatsby's Equilibrium will help a lot, and you can see that City does have that Adamance. So between the two of them, they will be able to stave off a lot of Miyane's damage. If he gets a Judgment or a Rage, okay, so he doesn't. Interesting. He gets a Fate. I'm not quite sure about that pickup here because I feel like those kills could have netted him a significant advantage against the front line of the Mortal Team, but now he'll still struggle to damage them.
Well, the synergy of Fate and Ruin, it can never be overlooked. I really like that combination. I don't know if maybe an Insight would have been better this early, but I can't really be too sure. The Voidbreaker comes out as well as the final chapter. Damnation is up, but the Pain's doing work, not allowing Bollock to get any of the lifesteal off. So Yagachu being caught out.
A spirit binding.
The
has
CC
been
chain
destroyed.
on this Mortal side is just really, really something to be reckoned with. I'm surprised we don't see maybe momentums or stabilities coming out to prevent these just death chains that come out. The Wrath of Heaven comes on to maybe force them off the binding. Mortal's looking to do some damage, but they're going to have to maybe wait for Parasite, which should be spawning any minute now. I think they finished it around 21 or 22. Yeah, we don't see... Oh, no, they still have a Strider. I don't know about the next wave, though.
3 ults are down for Mortal Team, but critically they have the Wombo Engage ults with Kagan and Red still. If people clump up on the Spirit Team, they could get caught by an Evaniscus Q and then an ult from a tank, so they do need to be careful here. It is 5v5 once again now, and Yagachu's ult is actually back up. Very short cooldown on that one. You can see that Xano's ult used to kill Yagachu is still down. Ooh.
Going aggressive in this fight, not electing to stay on Parasite. The Masterpiece works well with the finale from King of Mass, but Nicked is caught out from his team. The Quicksand doing a really nice job. The Wrath of Heaven comes down, gets 2 people. The Damnation is ticking, but Pain, once again, Ghostly Goat gets the kill. Don Lu now looking to maybe get into the back line. City uses Big Halt onto Miyane. They take him out, but City falls as well. They change their focus onto Don Lu and now onto Freezy. They get him. This will be a 2 for 5 and the ace for the Mortal side. Not electing to do Parasite. Maybe looking to push into the base.
That Mara for Don Lu, I feel like it did not work out this game, at least thus far. He's been up in them guts, but he hasn't gotten much accomplished. And Yagachu, CC'd by Evaniscus that time, he got Q'd and rooted and was really unable to have an impact. So great job from Evaniscus there, shutting down what could have been a massive threat. see that Gatsby's up. I feel like Mortal Team will back off here, and yeah, they do. Or not Gatsby, excuse me, I saw Renzo and thought Gatsby. It's actually Nicken. But yeah, as you mentioned earlier, great synergy initially between Renzo ult and Com ult, which is not always the case. Those ults both displacing people, so to have both of them hit multiple people can be tricky to pull off. They got it done, but unfortunately for them, it did not result in a one-team fight.
So Parasite is up. Depending on how this next fight goes, that could be a big swing in momentum if Spirit side can steal it or just take it outright. But I don't think Mortal is going to let them do it without a fight.
And you can see Yagachu just clearing out his jungle here. Nothing better to do. I imagine he wants to stay at least relatively close to Parasite. But it looks like both teams are just backing off momentarily. They won't outright contest it. Not without a team fight happening first. Or at least a pick. However, Yagachu does show himself at the Spirit Well.
Yeah.
Will Mortal Team rush Parry? You can see pings on it, but instead they're going for a pick. Gatsby momentarily thinking about ulting there, I think. Decides against it, which I think was the right call.
Has captured a well.
But because of perhaps some indecision from Mortal Team, Yagachu...
Ooh, the Tailwind is popped, and the Blink lands the Duress, the final chapter, as well as everything else. He will drop. The Wrath of Heaven misses. Nicken uses Tailwind to try and get out of dodge, but a max-range Voidbreaker gets him, and he's going to get locked down on the quicksand. Xanarate gets the double kill, so wow, that was a super max-range Voidbreaker with the Tailwind from Nicken, but got him all the way at the end. And as you know, the further Voidbreaker travels, the longer the fear is. So he got a max duration fear there, which allowed City to come in and the rest of his team and pick that kill as well. Gatsby is in there onto Miyane, who has to dispel the Chains of Fate from Zalgus. Now Dawnlu picks up Ghostly Goat. Yagachu pops Blitz, and the Damnation ticks away. He gets Evaniscus, changes his focus onto Xanarate. City tries to save him with a big haul, but I don't think he and Gatsby have enough damage to 2v3 the rest of this team. This could be bad now because Spirit side is going to probably rush Parasite, but not before they try to kill City first, who uses Blitz to avoid the Bramble Crush. He lands the Heat Wave, the Quicksand, but the Snapdragon allows for the follow. Now he's in trouble. The Adamance goes off, tries to slow everybody, but the Bramble Crush in the chase is just too much.
The Mortal Team
Yeah, another crazy fight there, and for the first time, Dawnlu did major work, in part as a result of the Guardian's abilities, but yeah, Miyane actually pulling Gatsby away from that fight. Gatsby wanting to get yet another kill on Reyna. This time it was not to be. Miyane escaped back to the fountain, healed up back to full, and came back in and killed everybody. So
Now,
Gatsby's aggression not paying off that time.
Despite everything that's happened, now this is an even game because of that Parasite. You know, 3 level 20s on the Spirit side, only 1 level 20 on the Mortal side, so the experience advantage, having those 3 extra spellbook spells for however long they can keep that advantage will be big. It's going to be not super easy for Mortal to close this out. They're trying to save this Spirit Well from being capped. They're going
Dawnlu has to leave right now or he's dead.
Dawnlu is going to try and fight it, though. Goat uses the spell to try and get away. The final chapter is... Oh, no. He stunned him out of the final chapter, so he still has it up. He's going to try and land another chain. The Duress comes out. There's the final chapter, and Dawnlu will be shut down on that Spirit Well.
Dawnlu, and again, that's the greed right there. We saw it in the other game. When Ashabel used her ult to stop Dawnlu from taking the well, that was the win for Dawnlu. He got the Ashabel ult out of Ghostly Goat, and he should have left immediately. When you get hit and you're the only person on the Spirit Well, it takes a long, long time for the capture to start up again. Dawnlu needed to leave immediately, and that was the classic overstay that led to his death there. He tried to turn it on Ghostly Goat, trade a kill for a kill, but too many people on the Mortal side.
Ghostly Goat quietly having a 10, 2, and 12 Ashabel game to go along with 231 farm. So he is well ahead. Maybe not the wisest decision for Dawnlu to try to solo. Well, he tried to solo Ghostly Goat and then friends came, but still maybe not the best decision he's ever made.
Yeah, and you can see the short cooldown on the Zalgus ult there already back up. He used it to kill Don Lu, Evaniscus did.
Yeah, but with a Chaos and a Duress, that's certainly going to help Zalgus's cooldowns. Can we actually see that? His cooldown
I
percent
like
now?
this play here from the Spirit team, looking to set up a pick here, or perhaps even contest the Spirit Well straight up because they can see Ashabel top lane, so they know they won't be outnumbered.
Oh, be very, very quiet. We're hunting Zalgus. Evaniscus gonna be in trouble here. He's gonna drop instantly. The focus now changes onto Gatsby. Donlu uses his ultimate. They're going to give chase, but a nice blink from Gatsby with Rebirth ticking away. He might try to escape here. Oh no, the team is trying to rotate in time. But now that they're split apart, maybe Mortal can collapse on the backline here as Yagachu and Donlu give chase. They're really hungry for some Gatsby right now. Dude, look at that Bastion of the North just mitigating all that damage. But here's Mortal side. Will they get the kill on Nick? And they do. The big haul. Miyane has to use Dispel and Progress Gate to get out of the rest of that fight. Now Spirit side looking to push into the binding even further, push into the base.
Yeah, great job delaying there by Gatsby. He made the team split for so long that Nick actually got killed while that chase was happening.
Spirit team
So
has
Gatsby
captured
doing what he
a
could
well.
there to even things out. However, Miyane, real big now, 9-3.
This game, I just gotta take a moment. This has been a very, very fun game. I hope, it looks like everyone's watching it. I'm having a blast casting this game. I love games with all these, I mean, look at it. 57 kills in a 35-minute game. I love that stuff. And this is high-level play. This isn't, you know, the land of Bronzodia where everyone's just feeding left and right. These are just good players playing their shapers at a high level, and you just see the potential when you have that sort of, when you have those sort of, this sort of scenario.
Yeah, and it's been close the whole way through, and it still is. Either team could easily win the game at this point. You see many people approaching full build here. 5 items for Xano. You have almost 6 for Ghostly Goat. The same goes for Don Lu. Yagachu a bit far away. He only has about 4.5, I would say. And then Miyane, when he buys, he will have the full 6-item build. So Miyane will be the first to make it to 6, and on Varian, that's a scary proposition.
Yeah, he is going to be, yep, there he goes. He finishes off the Judgment. He's going to buy those pots as well. He's going to be very tough to kill if he's got all of his spellbook spells up between Dispel, Blink, and Blitz. To go along with Progress Gate, he is going to be a slippery little gunman.
Yeah, and Xano actually DC'd there a split second after buying that Freedom. And I wonder if buying is making him DC. That's something to keep an eye on for Waystone's sake.
Well, he is also, oh, not at 6 yet. I guess he's going to go for a Momentum. Would be the guess there.
And I don't know if that's the right call. He has a very tanky front line to protect him, and if he's not doing as much damage as Miyane, that could be a big problem. His team is not incredibly high damage. They're not low damage by any means, but they need a lot from him, so we'll see if it pays off. He does need to live, so that Freedom might be a good call.
It does give a good bit of haste as well, but Mortal side going for an aggressive Parasite here. Spirit is aware of their plans and are looking to get in on this fight. Are they going to get off their attention off of Parasite rather than Heaven? Hits 2 people, the finale comes out. Xanarate has to blink to safety. Damnation from Yagachu is ticking away. The blitzers are coming now. Gatsby uses Wisdom's Reach, trying to stun people underneath the binding. Donlu trying to get on Evaniscus. Xanarate drops, so the ADC is dead, and now Spirit side has this fight. They pick up Zalgus as well. City looks to be the next victim. He dies to the Volek Devour Sneeze. Ghostly Goat on the run, trying to land those Gales. He used Blink already. He uses Dispel there, but I don't think they were going to chase too much further than that. This could be rough. Now for the Mortal side, I hope they don't decide to surrender here. It's not over yet, boys.
No, it's
Have
not
some
over, but that
faith.
was... Yeah, that
He
was
got
a
caught
very...
trying to do Parasite foolishly.
Yeah, that was a very questionable para call there. I don't know why they started it. There was no reason to whatsoever. And Xano had the right idea trying to get that momentum because he got engaged on and he got bounced back and forth by displacement like ball in a cup from Family Guy. That was just gross. And now Spirit Team will take the binding as well. And that might have been the final swing there. The game isn't over, but that para buff is going to mean a lot for Spirit Team here in the base of Mortal Team for the first time.
I don't know if they're going to be. No, the Chicken Nugget Factory health core is still up, so the Guardian not quite dead yet. Ooh, the Slipstream takes Nicken out from max range, and now Spirit Side's going to have to give up this this push into the base. So they did get all of the cores. They still have the bottom binding alive, but Mortal Side can ill afford another wipe like they just had, or it will surely be curtains for them. Oh no, the death push strat. But Gatsby is so tanky that they weren't able to burst him down immediately. Rather, Emmett comes down, Freezy's gonna drop, Dolnu's gonna drop, Miane is the only one left alive, and now the Despair Ghost's doing the slows. He's gonna get stopped by the duress, and that is an ace. So Gatsby being so tanky, he was able to survive that death push. He did not get bursted at all. And Kagan was able to big haul 2 people away from the fight. They were able to take out people one by one. That was just like a plan gone wrong.
What a massive backfire there from the Spirit Team. Yeah, they were all stacked up to try to kill Gatzilla, and Evaniscus just queued all of them and put down massive CC and damage, and another huge swing. This game is wild. My donger is at full mast right now.
This is the most seesaw game I've ever seen, but it's been hell of a fun game to watch, so I'm okay with it. Let the throws commence.
Nicken back up.
Going for wells at 40 minutes. I don't know about that. I mean,
yeah, jeez. Good thing Nicken died before everybody else as usual, because he scared them up there.
Spore, you're just trashing on Miane's boy.
Jeez, what a game! This is wild. Mortal Team has 0 cores here, and Spirit Team still has 3. However, Spirit Team no bindings, Mortal Team 1. And still a really, really close game. I thought it would be a huge swing after that para fight, and now it's exactly even again.
So this one isn't over yet. Mortal is going to have a tough time finishing the game as long as Parasite is up for the Spirit Side, so they're going to have to wait this out and try not to die before that happens. So the push is on. They're going to eventually, this is going to spill into the Mortal Side base. They have no cores up, so they're going to have to be careful how they choose to do this fight. Maybe Spirit Side looks to do another Death Bush somewhere else, and maybe they'll pick a different target than Gatsby this time.
Yeah, and what's critical here is that Don Lu and Yagachu, who have struggled somewhat this game, are now both full build. So their previous struggles now have no meaning. Miane, of course, full build. Xano has his, and Ghostly Goat has his. So 3 full builds on the side of Spirit Team, 2 for Mortal Team.
I shall handle it.
Well, Gatsby's almost at full build. He's just got to turn that resolve into either an empathy or a hope. So
has captured a well.
Yeah, I would like to see an empathy, actually.
Yeah, I would too. Empathy just gives so many stats. Really, really great item. Uh-oh.
Ooh, some dangerous positioning here.
Mishap.
Rumble
Maybe.
in the jungle. Oh, wow, they're going to go for the back door.
They're going for it. Can Spirit get there? I don't think they can burst the Guardian down this quickly. They're going to have to fight.
Boy.
They're going to have to fight. This is not going to be an easy win here. So here they go. The blitzes are on. The dispels are on. Oh, the big haul pulls Yagachu and Donlu away from Ghostly Goat and Xanarate. But Xanarate uses Thrill of the Hunt. He gets them all very low. City is there using Dust Devil, trying to finish people. The Slipstream. The Gale gets a kill. And now the slow and the kill onto King of Mask. Yagachu, the only one left. That is an ace for Spirit Side. Triple kill for Ghostly Goat. And are they going to go to Parasite, or are they going to try and finish the game? They have enough time. There's a minute on these respawns.
That was crazy. They tried to go for the back door, but as you said, you can't burn down the Guardian that quickly in Dawngate. Back doors are much, much harder. And even though the Mortal Team was slightly out of position, they were still relatively close.
City
then in the
with
fight,
that hook.
Yeah, Great hook by City, and also City soaking a ton of damage in that fight. They tried to kill him, and with that rebirth, it just didn't work out. They blew all their abilities on him, and the rest of the team came in to clean up. They were also split during that fight, Spirit Team was. Some of them were still trying to backdoor the Guardian as Mortal Team came in. Yagachu and Don Lu not team fighting initially, and it cost them. And it looks like Mortal Team is going to win the game right here and now.
G effing G, boys. This is probably my favorite one of these in-houses we've done so far. I'm going to have to make a highlight out of this game.
What a wild game. And yeah, GG.
GG.
Great stuff.
Victorious.
Back and forth the whole way. Some crazy, crazy plays. And you know what? I got to hand it to Mortal Team. I feel like even though it was so close all the way through, Mortal Team deserved that win. They had some awesome stuff that game.
Don Lu regrets his easy game comment earlier on, I'm sure.
Don Lu had to eat his words. I talked about it during Schaefer Select, that he picked that Mara after saying easy game, and that's when you know. That's when you know that Don Lu is getting cocky. We've seen it before. In the initial set of in-houses that Don Lu played in, he was undefeated for about 3 games, and then he said, you pick Don Lu, you win. And then he picked Petrus, another shaper he doesn't typically use, and lost that game. Don Lu, consistently a victim of his own overconfidence, but I don't want to take anything away from Mortal Team. They played so spectacularly well this game. It's really, really tough to pick a single MVP, so I'm going to give you first crack at it since you picked this team.
Oof. It's very tough. I want to give it to City because some of those hooks were just out of control, especially the one earlier on that was like across the entire screen. It was just him or Ghostly Go. Can I give them co-MVPs? I mean, is that allowed? Because Ghostly Go, with that great escape he had earlier on, and just being in the right place at the right time, and kiting and doing all the things you need to do to stay alive on Ashabel, but he wouldn't have been able to do that if it wasn't for City and Gatsby too. Like, this is ridiculous. I don't even know. They all played incredibly.
Exactly. It's a testament to how well everybody played that both of us are torn on the MVP. I am too. I'm thinking of at least 2 or 3 different people. But I do want to keep up tradition here and choose one. And I'm actually going to go with Gatsby 2 games in a row here. And I don't know if I've ever done that. I don't know that I've ever given out MVP to the same person in 2 consecutive games, but I'm going to do it here. It's an historic moment for Dodgeball Mode. Ordinary Gatsby doing all kinds of work with Reyna, getting 4 auto attack kills early game and being unkillable in team fights after that. He had a great, I believe it was a 4-man ult at one point, and was just a very imposing presence in team fights. So Gatsby, well done. You are the first consecutive winner of MVP titles for me.
Very well deserving. I still have to give it. I'm going to give co-MVPs. I'm going to go with City and Ghostly Goat. But
all right, so,
take nothing away from Ordinary Gatsby. Not so ordinary. Oh, not so ordinary. That game.
Nothing ordinary about that Rainzilla. So let's get the 3rd game underway here. I assume you can continue, right?
What?
You can continue, right?
Yeah, I'm good to go. Are you kidding me? I'm going to leave after that game?
All right, here we go. All right, so I will create this game. Prime Knight wants to play, so we'll try to get him in here. Here's the password for you. And I'll start inviting people. I'll attempt to navigate the shifting sands of the invite interface here. And, oh boy, that's tough to click on people.
I tell you what, I really like what Waystone did as far as making the friends list a little bit better and a little more accurate as to what's going on and who's online and offline. Now that invite list, that's the next one they can work on. The fact that it jumps around like it's... like literally, like you have a bunch of like pieces of rice like shaking on a pot. Like, it's just ridiculous.
It is genuinely difficult to click on the boxes next to.
It's like playing like super high level Osu. The accuracy of clicking needed to select people from that.
You can't even tell who you've already chosen, let alone click on new people.
No.
I think I've chosen people. I'll shoot this guy an invite. I've invited him several times tonight. He hasn't played. If I can click on him, where'd you go? Stay still. He moved, and I clicked on somebody else. This is just torture. All right, I'm just gonna click send invite. We'll see what happens. So, if you guys are just joining us, I'm Sporesmith. The man you see on your screen is Twerp78. We're doing dodgeball mode in-house games with high-level Dawngate players. Last game, as I'm sure you saw, was absolutely crazy. Certainly, at the very least, one of the best games we've had, if not the best. And yeah, that's the type of games we want to see, right? That's why we're doing this. That was just wild. Zakent, I know you're in the spectator section of the audience, but if you'd like to move to the mezzanine and play, you're more than welcome. Idadodal dropping by, and there is Prime Night. Oh, I did not... City, sorry, bro. The Shifting Sands. I didn't hit you. There it is.
Sands. Captain Romantic expressed interest in playing as well.
All right, let me type out people's names because it's at this point I think I have carpal tunnel syndrome from trying to click on those moving boxes. It's actually more difficult than playing Dawngate. Who else can we get in here?
Oh, Freezy, not at all. Your King of Masks wasn't too poor. I saw some nice finales out of you. You just got whooped by the Bad News Bears, bro. That's all. You know, sometimes the Mighty Ducks beat the Hawks in the big game.
You called it, man. You called it. Let's get some other people in
There's
here.
a method to my madness.
I'm trying to click on people having mixed results. Waystone, please. Who did I just click on? I have no idea who I just clicked on. Let's get this guy and this guy and send some invites out.
Ah, Luke at me now. One of my new favorite streamers. I think he's very entertaining. I'll give him a shout out for that.
So we do have 10. Nicken retiring for the evening. Good games, Nicken. And Based electing to not play this game after
they are tucking their tail between their legs and going to duo queue.
Jeez. All right. Well, we still have some great players in here, and it's your turn to pick first. So have at it.
All right. I'm going with the hot hand. I'm riding my boy City straight to the top, baby.
That's what I expected. No surprise there. Oh, who do I want for my first pick? This may be the hardest first pick ever. You know what? I'm going to go with a newcomer here. Idadodal will be my first pick.
Idadodal, a very strong ranged AD player.
Oh, never mind. Prime Night cannot play this game because his food just got here. So we need a replacement. Zakent, you're welcome to be the hero that Dawngate needs. Maybe this guy. Let's try inviting him.
Dome Rocker is here. He could probably
is he?
the
Let's
Dome
get him.
Rocker.
Yeah.
Dome's good.
Let's get those guys in here.
Please don't be offended if we don't know you or anything like that, and then you're not quite getting invites. We don't have exactly a perfect system for doing this now. We try to keep things as even as possible, and it makes the players more comfortable when they're playing with people that they recognize, things of that nature. We're just trying to have the best games that are entertaining and fun to play in for the players. It's more for these guys, for them. They're kind enough to let us cast when they want to do these sorts of things. So.
Yep, trying to get people in here. I don't know who's available and who's not. I don't know who I've invited and who I haven't. Okay, there we go. All right. Now, I assume that...
I'm okay still with City, so...
I'm good with Idadodal, so go right ahead.
I'll take that Evaniscus.
Okay.
LCS, baby. Oh, never mind. Sorry. Something else.
All right. That's a tough one, huh? I feel like I want to disrupt your team from last game, so I will take Ghostly Goat.
Okay. Nothing wrong there. I mean, I give me Gatsby.
Gatsby?
He's been
Nice.
so strong. Sometimes you ride the hot hand all the way to the bank, baby.
Another tough one here. I'm actually going to take Freezy.
Okay. I will take Luke at me now.
Okay. I was hoping you wouldn't, but you did. Now here's an interesting choice. I already have a carry player and I don't have a jungler, so I will take Corruption.
Damn. I almost forgot about him, and then I was like, oh crap, Corruption's still there. I'll stick with Captain Romantic, and you can take Xanarate.
Interesting. Okay. All right. Before we get started, I do have to refill my water, so I'll be back in just a moment.
Please do. Ooh, yeah, let's go do this song. I like this song. As we wait for Spore to get back, we've got our team set, and we will get into the game shortly.
And we're back.
And we're back.
All right, so without any further ado, Twerp's Mortal Team City, Evaniscus, Gatsby, Luke at Me Now, and Captain Romantic, my Spirit Team, Idododal, Ghostly Goat, Freezy, Corruption, and Xanarate. Let's play Dodgeball.
Okie dokie. Let me jump
So
over.
you're sticking with what brung you to the dance here.
That's right.
Yeah, Miyane actually got left out of that one. I think he was in here at one point and then left. Miyane will get you next game if you're still around. Interesting. Corruption saying, who is jungling so I don't have to? I was hoping that he would jungle, which is why I picked him when I did. I have 3 people on my team who are comfortable with carrying, although Idododal has stated that he prefers not to in the in-houses, interestingly enough.
Maybe he wants to work on some other aspects of his skill set, which is not something. I mean, why not? You wanna try out something new against some of the best players. This is a pretty safe environment to do this. No MMR is at stake, just pride. So
Right. And look at me now, predictably going with that Kindra, which is why I was upset that you picked him. I wanted him, but I guess I should have prioritized him. Okay, interesting stuff here. So Corruption will be jungling for the Spirit Team. Xanarate, usually on Gladiator in these games, he'll go for the Evaniscus special, Tactician, Zalgus, Ghostly Goat on Calm. I know he's familiar with him. Freezy on one of his favorites, Nisa, and Idododal on one of his favorites, Vex. So he was willing to play carry, and I love that he did. Look at me now. Kindra, no surprise there. Evaniscus switching things up a bit, maybe getting a little bored of Zalgus. He'll go for Calm this game. City on Valak, who is a very familiar choice for him. Gatsby back to Renzo, his favorite. And Captain Romantic on someone I've seen him play in solo queue quite a bit, Tess.
nice to see a little bit more variety in the picks here. We're seeing a Basco, we're seeing Nisa, we're seeing Vex, Tess, and now Kindra. So shapers from all walks of life being represented.
Every corner of the Dawngate world.
That's right. North, south, east, west. No Shorewind though.
Shorewind.
Bastards.
Shorewind pretty
Shorewind doesn't get any love in these in-houses. No
they
Cerulean,
don't.
barely any Amaranth, never a Viridian.
Yeah. Shorewind not getting much love.
Yeah, even bozos. It's the only way I can explain it.
So Idododal already saying peace. He's done with this. No, I'm sure he'll be back. Corruption taking E at level 1 and heading straight to his power. And
30
I don't think
seconds until
Evaniscus has
minions
ever
spawn.
played King of Masks before.
uh-oh.
He's a smart enough player. I'm sure he'll pick it up eventually. Uh-oh, Captain Romantic. Little caught out here, getting aggressive, trying to ward. I don't know if he's going to escape.
Nice dropping the ward there, Corruption, to make sure he doesn't get flanked. Oh, and
Onslaught, he blinks the Chains of Fate, but he, for no, not without significant loss now. Tess,
Minions
without that
have
blink
spawned.
for the first 5 minutes, very susceptible to a gank.
Yeah, that's a character with no inherent escapes in her kit once the combat has started, and she's against a jungler who has very, very strong ganks in Basco, so Tess might be in trouble early on here. But it's the standard starts as usual, both junglers starting power for that increased clear time. You could do the same with haste, but of course haste in the middle of the map, so you can't do the road straight through all the buffs. What do you think? Let's say the two side buffs were haste and power. Which do you think people would start at?
I mean, to be honest, I was one of those people. I always like starting at armor first. I'm just bad, but that was what I always like to do because I'm like, oh no, it's the hardest buff to take out. I liked using my Vanquish on it. I liked how the armor helped me stay alive earlier on in the jungle, helped mitigate some of the damage from the creeps and for ganks and whatnot. I've always been a big homer for the armor buff, so.
Interesting.
I just feel like the percentages from the haste and the power buff early on don't give you quite as much. I just think the armor has it feels more effective early on. Late game, it's basically, you can ignore it for the most part. Power and haste are way more important as the game goes on, but I just think early on, I'd rather have that armor.
Interesting. Top lane, you can see Xanarate playing that Tactician Zalgas. He used to be a support main, switched to Gladiator some time ago, so now he's back to his roots here. And this is a tough lane for Spirit Team. Double melee against double ranged, and it's two range shapers who have a very strong laning phase. Nisa in particular, and of course Nisa being piloted by Freezy, one of the best Nisas in the game. So I feel like Look at Me Now may have a tough time in this lane.
Kindra never really has an easy early laning phase to begin with. She does have Renzo there, but it's going to be tough for her up until level 6, where once she gets that extra mobility from her ultimate, it makes her a little bit happier in her situation. But yeah, Ghostly Goat and Freezy are going to have to do a good job of keeping her in control until she gets to that point. Don't want to get too aggressive with their pushing, might leave them susceptible to a Volic gank.
Ooh, nice dodge there by Evaniscus. Apparently he did read the abilities.
He learned how Flourish worked.
And of course he is intimately familiar with how the Zalgas Q works, so he had that one well scouted.
Yeah, the travel times though on Captivate and the Chains of Fate are a little different, so might be something he has to get used to, but as we've seen, he's just a skilled player in general, so I'm sure he'll pick up on it quite quickly.
So the junglers now starting to finish their rotations. We can expect ganks after this, after the money pigs are taken, I assume. Both junglers likely aware of where the other one is, knowing that they can get a free money pigs, and indeed they do both go for the respective pairs. And
Free
then
pigs.
I imagine, yeah, free pigs, never a bad thing, and then I imagine it will be a pair of ganks. Top lane looking pretty even, and actually, Look at Me Now doing a pretty good job of sustaining himself with help from Gatsby. You can see the shield there mitigating some damage from Ghostly Goat. I would like to see Freezy and Ghostly Goat be even more aggressive here, especially Freezy. I feel like Nisa has one of the strongest laning phases in the entire game, and against double melee, she can be absolutely brutal. He's trying for it, he is harassing, but Look at Me Now, a very experienced Kindred player, knows not to take too much damage here.
Exit stage that way.
Going to probably see an early pain here in bottom lane for the Spirit side, being up against Renzo and Kindra, and just the fact that there is a Volic in the game as well, it will pay dividends later on. Ooh, the empowered Captivate just missing. Luke gonna make the binding.
Both junglers going for the free well harass, because actually the unfriendly lanes were both too pushed in. But now both junglers potentially looking for a dive. And you can see that City is positioned for one, waiting patiently until the wave gets to the binding top lane. On the other hand,
Vasco seems to be recalling.
Yeah, not going for it. He doesn't want it. Gatsby.
And they've got a big wave here too. I don't know if I love that decision.
I think he was thinking that with the Renzo shield it might be a little tough.
Yeah, they're not super low. Luke doing a nice job of keeping his health up. You know, with the empowered Renzo's Embraces giving him health every time. Along with his ward, and he's able to mitigate a good bit of damage.
Chivy saying he wants to play next game. I think there probably will be another game, so we'll try to get you in there, Chivy, along with Miyane, who I think
I believe Acids also wanted to play this game, but I told him he was out. There were no more spots, so maybe he'll stick around for the next one.
So we'll try to keep a running tally of those players and give them priority for the next one. You can see that Gatsby has his inspiration stacks ready to go, and there he goes. Heal shield onto Look at Me Now. Ooh, Xanarate showing Evaniscus that he's not the only one with a spicy Zalgus Q in his repertoire.
Getting a taste of his own medicine.
And it tastes bitter. I do love the harass from Ghostly Goat, just constantly auto-attacking Kindra whenever he gets a chance, all the time. And a lot of the time, the minions will block that Q, so really the auto-attack is his most consistent form of harassing the lane, and he knows it and he's taking advantage of it.
Mortal side spotting out Vasco on a ward there. They ping the danger. King of Mask runs away to maybe look to ward, but Vasco not able to do much with that gang. Oh no, a fight happening down bottom. The heavy iron drops, but a nice chain from Xanarate prevents the follow-up.
So even though the heavy iron did not get any kills there, I think it was absolutely worth, because it's making at least one of them go back, and the wave is at their binding. Ooh, big damage on
Going in on the Ghostly Goat, the Nox Eterna from Kindra popping, and there's the masterpiece from Renzo. Ghostly probably going to fall, and the final flight comes down. Luke picks up first blood with the Night Strike. Now Freezy dispels. He wants more. He pops Chase. Chases off Kindra, but Renzo is there as we switch the action up to top lane.
So yeah, that's how it has to go for a Kindra Renzo lane. If they want any hope of winning, they have to all in, and it's probably going to happen at 6.
What did I say? Level 6.
Nicely done there by Look at Me Now and Ordinary Gatsby. That's the only way they could have won the lane, and that's how they did it. If you're playing a melee shaper in lane against range shapers, you can't be passive and just die a slow death to poke. You have to go all in at some point.
You have to
So
pick
great
and
job
choose
by
your
them.
spots.
Yeah.
Vasco looking
Junglers.
to collapse.
And you can see City here in position for a potential counter gank. Based on his movement on the minimap, I think he knows it. He did a little back and forth there.
Uh-oh, Corruption maybe caught out here.
Oh.
He quickly uses Onslaught to get out of dodge, but Gatsby with a nice rotate from the top. The recall spam, giving up his life for the greater good. And by
See,
greater
I don't
good, I
like-
mean nothing.
Yeah, I don't like the recall spam, not because of VM or anything like that. I think the recall spam is a bad idea because I think in that situation, if you know you're going to die, you can at least walk toward the support and try to get the kill on them. So whenever I see someone do a recall spam when they've given up, I always shake my head a little bit. I would have liked to see him walk toward Gatsby and try to give Gatsby the kill.
Just where they'd go.
Mortal side jumping out to a 2-0 lead here in the early goings. Doing a nice job. I think the really big key was the fact that the double melee lane ended up getting the first kill. We haven't seen a whole lot out of either junglers a whole lot this game, besides Corruption getting a little caught out there. Idododal now getting a little caught out. Pop splintering spines, but it's not going to be enough to take out Romantic. He will get the kill. So
Yeah,
now
and-
3-0 for the Mortal side.
Yeah, the smart camera didn't show us that fight, but something tells me Idododal was out of position, and Gatsby may be the one who's out of position this time. Of course, he
Ooh,
does
just
have
out of range of the chains, but the wing clip combined with the Great Rift are going to be enough. Freezy gets the kill there, so Spirit side now on the board. Gets a nice kill, a nice gank from Basco there.
Nice Q from Xano. Man, support Zalga showing up in these in-houses. And it's something we hadn't seen in Dawngate prior to maybe the past couple of months, for the most part. But all of a sudden, support Zalgus is the thing, man.
Yeah, well, you can thank Evaniscus for popularizing it. He was really the, not necessarily the pioneer of Tactician's Algus, but the one who played it so much that people had to take notice and go, well, I guess there are some merits to Tactician's Algus, but nice to see another Shaper getting into the repertoire. A little bit of a skirmish here. The Heavy Iron comes down, but the rest of Spirit is here. This is a 5-man dive. The final chapter combined with the Uprising. The recast of the Uprising, and Corruption gets the kill on Evaniscus.
And that Uprising, the second one, actually served as an escape because Corruption was under binding, taking binding shots. Really nice play from Corruption. You know, it looks easy to land that Basco ult, but we see people miss it all the time in these in-houses, and he just landed 2. And the second one was quite
City
long
from
range.
the back, taking a page out of the Yagachu, attack from the rear. Playbook, the final play from Nisa comes down, so City will drop. Luke went a little too heavy underneath the binding and gets to eat a Dodal, gets a double kill on Vex, which is not something to take lightly. You do not want that Vex to get too big too quickly.
Yeah, so I feel like until that point, Mortal Team had out-rotated Spirit Team, and now that is no longer the case. A great rotation there from all of Spirit Team, and it paid off big time.
Yeah, the nice, just a bit of teamwork.